Good evening. Welcome to North West Tonight with Annabelle Tiffin. Our top story. The rise of Reform. The party makes its mark in the region, taking Runcorn's parliamentary seat and control of Lancashire County Council.
It's been a very long night, but so proud of what we've achieved here today.
We've dealt with the Tories, we're now coming for the Labour Party, and boy, we are.
Nigel Farage's party takes Runcorn by just 6 votes from Labour, but wins almost 2/3 of the vote in Lancashire. Also tonight. Ketamine crisis. Police say children as young as 12 are getting hooked on the drug. How a coat created just for Charlie is helping other neurodivergent children. The Birdman of West Horton. Pete offers a helping hand to those in need of a friend.
And although it's been a little bit cooler today, still, it's been pleasant. Now, how are we looking for the bank holiday? Join me at the end of the programme. I'll give you all the details.
Reform UK is tonight celebrating historic victories in local and parliamentary elections here in the North West. Their candidate, Sarah Pochin, is the new MP for Runcorn and Helsby after winning the by-election, which was triggered by the previous Labour MP's conviction for assault. And this afternoon, the party also took control of Lancashire County Council. So let's have a closer look at some of the figures. Firstly, from that by-election. This is how the votes piled up. After a recount, Reform won by just 6 votes, taking one of Labour's safest seats. So that means the vote share stays exactly the same, both Reform and Labour, just short of 39%. The Conservatives and Greens way behind with 7%. But compare that with just 10 months ago at the general election, Reform leaping up 21%, Labour down 14%, and the Conservatives down 9%. Well, this afternoon, Reform UK also took control of Lancashire County Council from the Conservatives. They won 53 seats. The Conservatives won 8. That's a loss of 40. Labour won 5, down by 27, and others won 11. Now, in a moment, we'll speak to our reporter in Lancashire. But first, let's go to Runcorn. Andy Gill is there. And Andy, quite a result for Reform.
It is, Annabelle. It seems barely credible that just 10 months after a Labour landslide, in which the majority here was 15,000, that Reform, second last time, should overturn that majority and squeak home as winners. It's clear this vote is much more than a reaction against the previous Labour MP getting drunk and assaulting a constituent over in Frodsham. This result has big implications for politics here in the North West and across the country.
And I do hereby declare that Sarah Joanne Pochin is duly elected as a Member of Parliament for the Runcorn and Helsby constituency.
The moment when Runcorn and Helsby went from red to turquoise by a minuscule majority, yes, but after a massive swing from Labour to Reform.
I'm so proud of what we've achieved here today and absolutely committed to starting work as soon as I can next week and starting to make changes here in Runcorn and Helsby.
The result after a recount had Reform just 6 votes ahead of Labour, the Conservatives a distant third. Reform's leader was in the constituency as the count came to its dramatic conclusion. He certainly thinks it's a hugely important result.
Well, it's the closest by-election since the war, and I think one of the most dramatic. But I sense also one of the most significant. I said after I won in Clacton in the last general election, I said we've dealt with the Tories, we're now coming for the Labour Party, and boy, we are.
Labour's candidate left just after the declaration. The Prime Minister said the result was disappointing.
But the message I take out of these elections is that we need to go further and we need to go faster on the change that people want to see, and that's what I'm determined to do.
Immigration, the loss of the pensioners' winter fuel allowance and wider dissatisfaction with the 2 main traditional political parties were key issues here.
They're not giving the people what they promised. Basically, they were lying about everything, and the people know that. They're not stupid.
What do you hope reform will do differently?
Immigration for a kick-off, that needs tackling, and that'll give the people in UK a lot more confidence.
What do you think of the result?
I think it's disgraceful.
Why?
Think it's going to cause division. I think it's racist.
Tell me why you voted for reform.
To stop the boats.
And why do you want to stop the boats?
It's just a joke, I reckon. I don't think it's racist to want to stop the boats because they're illegal immigrants.
You can see I'm a pensioner, and what Labour has done to the pensioners has been disgusting.
Some local Labour MPs are already urging the party to adopt more policies that benefit working class people. The North West, though, has its first Reform MP.
So, Andy, just tell us a little bit more about the reaction from some Labour MPs to this.
Well, Kim Johnson is the Labour MP for Liverpool Riverside. She wrote on social media, Runcorn is a warning we can't ignore. Voters want change, and if Labour doesn't offer it, what she refers to as the far right will. Another Liverpool Labour MP, Ian Burns, described Labour's official spokesperson's response to this as tone deaf. He said that the party must respond by changing the lives of working class people for the better. If not, he says what he calls a far right government will be in power in 4 years' time. But it's clear this vote has raised very tricky questions for Labour and for the Conservatives.
Andy, thanks very much. Our reporter Andy Gill in Runcorn for us this evening. Well, it's not just there where Reform have made their mark in our region. The party has also taken control of Lancashire County Council. Let's go live to our Lancashire political reporter, Gina Milson, who is at County Hall in Preston for us. And, I mean, Gina, this wasn't just a win, this was an emphatic win, wasn't it?
Yes, Annabelle, they needed 43 votes to get the majority here at County Hall, and they've done that most comfortably. They've won 53 seats here. They've taken those seats from both the Tories and from Labour. Stephen Atkinson is the former Conservative leader of Ribble Valley Borough Council. He defected to Reform from the Conservatives ahead of this election, and he's been giving us his reaction.
I was battling between my heart and my head. You know, my particular division, there was a majority of the incumbent of over 2,200, and my head said you can't win that. You know, they won 2/3 of the vote, but my heart said we could win it because of the response we've had from the people of Lancashire, and I won it by over 1,000 votes. So that is so humbling for the people, and this is happening all over Lancashire, all over the country. And they're not winning by 5 or 6, they're winning by hundreds. This is a political earthquake.
It was a tough election for both the Tories and for Labour here. Both party leaders lost their seats to Reform. Labour now has just 5 seats on the council, while the Tories went from 46 to just 8. Both say they're disappointed.
It's been my privilege to be a county councillor for 20 years, and so it's going to leave a bit of a hole in my life. But clearly, the people voted for change last year, and they're not seeing the change that they wanted. And people are impatient for change after 14 years of the Tories, and it's now time for the government, really, to stand up and be a bit more of a Labour government. That's my view.
Certainly don't think it's simply a protest vote. I think they are a serious force, and we shouldn't dismiss them in any way, shape or form. I think that's pretty arrogant.
The Independents took 7 seats at the council, while there were celebrations for the Greens, who've doubled their seats to 4. Elsewhere, the Liberal Democrats took 5 and the Our West Lancashire Party 2.
So, Gina, there was lots of talk of change there, and change we've had indeed. So what happens now?
Well, discussions will take place now among the new Reform councillors as to who will be their leader, who will be their cabinet. We suspect that it will be the county councillor I mentioned before, Stephen Atkinson, who's got experience in this sort of role. But all of this will be confirmed at the first full council meeting.
Gina, thank you very much indeed. Right, let's get some of the day's other news now. And a 14-year-old boy has been charged with attempted murder and wounding with intent after 2 teenagers were stabbed in Kirkby on Tuesday night. A 14-year-old girl and a 15-year-old boy are both in a stable condition. Two brothers, aged 2 and 3, have been seriously injured in an attack by their family dog at a home in Prescott. Their mother has thanked neighbours for helping to save the boys. And a painting L.S. Lowry sold for £10 has made more than $800,000 at auction. Going to the Mill was bought in 1926 for the equivalent of £520 in today's money. The Stretford-born artist thought he had charged too much and gave the buyer another painting for free. Now, police in Lancashire say children as young as 12 are becoming hooked on ketamine, and it's having a life-changing impact on their health. Drug charities say the substance is growing in popularity because it's readily available and cheap. Our reporter Phil Cunliffe was out with police this morning as they try to crack down on dealers. And you may find aspects of Phil's report upsetting.
A man and a woman are led away in handcuffs in Padiham this morning. They're two of 15 people arrested during an operation to tackle the illegal supply of ketamine. It's places like here and Burnley that the drug is creating a crisis, with more children than ever becoming hooked.
We've seen it progress from a party drug back in the 80s and 90s, and we've now seen it go into the mainstream with our children as young as 12 and 13.
Ketamine can provide a sudden sense of euphoria, but while the high might typically last less than an hour, police are seeing how its regular use can cause long-term health damage.
When we've got hardened police officers coming back to the police station upset about what they've seen, you know, arresting a 17-year-old child that can't go to the bathroom due to the pain that they're in and the bladder, and they're using the bed as a toilet, that's the level that we're at.
Ketamine can also lead to fatal consequences. 16-year-old Preston McNally drowned in Burnley after taking the drug with friends.
This is the spot on the Leeds-Liverpool Canal where the teenager tragically lost his life. An inquest heard that he may have been hallucinating. CCTV footage shows him keeling over into the water, and the friends who were with him were also high on kets and unable to process what was happening. Preston McNally drowned in less than 2 feet of water.
Grace works for a charity called With You. She's seen a rise in the number of youngsters across Lancashire needing support for addiction.
It's pocket money, essentially. It's the same price as a beer. So we're talking £15 for a bag or a gram. And we know that similarly, cocaine for a similar amount, we're talking £80. So it is a lot cheaper and a lot easier to get hold of.
They often buy it in bulk, share it between the friends and things like that, all chip in to buy it together, but it's not expensive. Then they committing like minor crime, shopliftings to be able to fund the habit, because a lot of parents are not aware they're using until we get like to a 3-month period of time when the effects start to show.
So it's the consequences of losing the use of your bladder. You know, do you want to be able to go to the toilet normally for the rest of your life? Do you want to be able to have children and families? This is what it comes down to.
Phil Cunliffe, BBC North West Tonight, Lancashire.
OK, time now to have a look at some of the stories you can find on the BBC News website this evening. Lancashire have taken 15 vehicles off the streets as part of their work with the DVLA to tackle people driving without having paid road tax. A 16-year-old who died after falling into water in Wirral has been named as Zach Sim. It's believed Zach suffered a medical episode and fell into Eastham Locks. And rail services will be disrupted this weekend due to upgrades on the network. Services to and from Salford Central, Warrington Bank Quay, Crewe and Preston are among those affected. And you can see all of those stories and more at bbc.co.uk/local news or on the BBC News app. Now, the Netflix series Adolescence has sparked a national debate about social media, misogyny and children's access to violence. The Prime Minister even went as far as to say he wants it to be shown in schools. But today, pupils at St Luke's Primary in Haywood were taught about its impact in a different way. And Anna Jameson was also there.
Described as a watershed moment, the Netflix series Adolescence has transformed national conversation about what it really means to grow up today.
Dad, I haven't done anything!
And for these 9 and 10-year-olds in Haywood, these conversations are clearly important.
Consent can be taken back. So if you decide that you don't want to do something, that has to be respected, OK?
I've seen these videos about saying, like, how boys are better than girls. I felt disgusted because, like, girls and boys are equal.
Do you see a lot of these videos?
Definitely a lot more than, like, last year.
And it's a growing trend that's difficult to control.
Boys will be boys. With having like the social media outside of school and the way that pupils can then interact, and you probably wouldn't always say something to someone's face.
Has that been happening here as well?
I would say yes, you know, as they're moving further up the school into probably year 5 and year 6, when they are messaging each other out of school, you can get some issues that do occur, and I think it's really important that parents are monitoring their children's phones as well.
Dad, you're not reading what they're doing. It's a call to action by the manosphere. 80% of women are attracted to 20% of men. You must trick them because you'll never get them in a normal way.
The series also addresses misogyny and the growing trend of online incel culture. Is it a problem in Greater Manchester?
I don't think there's a real problem. I don't think it's with every young boy, but I think the odd young child who is, you know, showing those characteristics, this will help them to try and change their attitudes and behaviours.
The workshop, run by the arts group Breaking Barriers, is funded by criminal assets gained by Greater Manchester Police. Is it working?
I think if we can keep up the momentum, diverting children, educating them.
But you're battling a big beast with the likes of social media. How can a production like this compete?
You're absolutely right. I think it is a battle, but we've got to try, haven't we? And it's not an overnight fix.
Anna Jameson, BBC North West Tonight in Haywood.
Now, most of us know that getting out of the house in the morning can be a challenge at times, but for neurodiverse children, what they wear and the environment around them can make heading outside really, really difficult. So a dad from Salford has come up with an idea to help his son feel more comfortable. And now it's really taking off, as Eleanor Percival reports.
Wearing a coat used to be Charlie's worst nightmare. That was until his dad made him this.
We spent numerous hours searching for coats, buying coats, and he wouldn't even wear it. So they were all brand new coats lying about, not even touched. He needed a coat because it's cold weather, he wouldn't go out, wouldn't go to school. And I just said to Amanda one day, I said, listen, I'm gonna make him one.
I started laughing because I thought, don't be so ridiculous. You don't even know where to start. Within 3 days, there was a little scrap of paper on the kitchen table with a picture of a coat. Then a big leaflet come through the door, a big package full of information on how to start designing a product. And it went from there.
We've took off the label off the neck completely. Inside is made out of Sherpa. It's weighted, so they feel more secure in it. It's got ivy stripes on it, so they're easily seen. And obviously it's got fidgets in the pockets.
What's your favourite part? This is my favourite.
And after getting Charlie's seal of approval, the coat's now being rolled out to other parents with autistic children.
You know, it weren't to make money or anything like that. I'm not bothered. Money's money, if you know what I mean. When I found out that child loved this, and then I did some more prototypes and give them to certain parents, and the feedback I got off it was brilliant. And I thought, I'm going to go for it because this will help people.
Eleanor Percival, BBC North West Tonight.
Quite simply, only a win at playoff contenders Bristol City tomorrow will guarantee North End's championship safety.
It's tomorrow, isn't it? That's it. So I think the thinking about it, the worrying about it's worse than being in it. So we're in it. We have to go and perform. Big game, one-off game. The difference with it is there's so many possible scenarios, both for us and them, which could impact the game.
While Preston have dropped like a stone in recent weeks, Blackburn Rovers have risen like a proverbial phoenix. Manager Valerian Ismail took a while to oversee his first win, and now he can't stop. Rovers know they have to win at third place Sheffield United to have a chance of a championship playoff place.
Great feeling that we put ourselves in a good position to have that final game. So now it's the focus on ourselves, on our performance. It's a tough away game. It's on the boys to put the performance on the pitch.
In League One, third place Stockport County have already guaranteed their playoff place, but tomorrow's result against the team below them, Wycombe, will decide their potential path to Wembley. Salford City have never been as high as League One, but a recent good run has put promotion there firmly back on the agenda. They occupy the final League Two playoff place ahead of a trip to already relegated Carlisle.
If you don't finish in it, you don't deserve it. The Football League season finds you out. So if we get the result that we deserve, well, I do believe that we should be in there. And we've thrown too many points away, and we can't afford to throw points away at the weekend.
After a break, ironically, during loads of nice weather, county cricket returned today with Lancashire hosting Gloucestershire at Emirates Old Trafford. Lancashire batted first and had a decent day, in particular Marcus Harris, shown here making his century. He's since moved on to 165, with Lancashire ending the day on 342 for 5 in their first innings. And it's also Super League's Magic Weekend at Newcastle United's St James's Park. All of our teams are playing across Saturday and Sunday. Wigan against Warrington should be among the more interesting games. And look at you both on the sofa. And me excluded.
Oh, sorry. No Luke Littler tonight?
No, next week.
That's usually my Friday treat. Thank you very much, Ian. Now, the latest in our 25 in 25 series, a chance to shine a spotlight on 25 people or places that make the North West a great place to live. We've been to parks, or you've been, I should say, dairy farms, met loads of inspirational people, haven't we?
So many.
So where have you been this week?
This week, I've been to Hall Leebank Park in West Horton, which one man, a man you're about to meet, describes as heaven on earth. And do you know what? I believe he's hit the nail on the head.
This is my temple. This is my church as I walk in this forest through God's great works. Here is my synagogue. Here is my mosque in a place which I found when I felt lost. No bars, no doors in this sacred space. Somewhere to worship, whatever your faith. So come and pay homage when your soul feels down on a path that might take you to the higher ground. You can come in here with the troubles of the world, you know, with what's going on in the world at the moment, and then you walk out after thinking, I just feel so uplifted, you know.
How do you announce your arrival?
Right, well, I'll whistle.
Oh, my God.
So that's a female great tit. We have robins, blue tits, great tits. I've got a nuthatch, blackbirds. Yeah, I think he's trying to tell you something.
He's trying to tell you something.
Yeah. So what you do? Hold your hand out flat like this, and just keep it flat, and he will land on your hand. He's just coming down now.
Unbelievable.
I did a count of how many people fed the birds for the first time, and there was 160 people who've never. And I call it the bird in the hand gang. So I always say to the kids, especially, you know, you're now a member of the bird in the hand gang.
So you've almost created a whole.
Well done.
Another existence just in the woods for yourself, meeting new people.
Absolutely. It's a social thing as well, as much as anything, you know. I mean, everybody knows me now, you know. Yeah. Come on in. Good morning. And it's just, it brings people together. Nature brings people together. Nature's so powerful. That was a great tip.
I think a lot of people think of him as Pete the Birdman. I think him of Pete the poet, Pete the counsellor, Pete the environmentalist, and Pete the massive friend. People are able to talk to him, and he's a fantastic listener.
There you go.
He probably meets so many different people, and they're just open, they're just willing to chat to him.
Grow, spirit, grow, in this Eden reclaimed, in this shelter, this haven, this heaven on earth. For this is my temple, for this is my church.
You can hear running water.
Yeah.
You can hear birds.
Yeah.
You can't hear a car.
Nope.
You can't hear the ping of a phone.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's just peace.
Yeah, it is. It's mindfulness. It really is. You can't put a price on it, can you? Oh, we saw the deer as well.
I think that actually might be one of my favourites so far, actually.
My favourite, the little robin.
Gorgeous.
And Pete is now my massive friend. Thank you, Pete, and to all his lovely friends as well. A brilliant day. Now then, to the weather. It's been warm. It's going to get colder. Let's have a little look at your pictures. Stretford, some blue skies today. All of us really enjoyed some fine weather today on the Wirral too. Thank you for sending in those photographs. Now then, it's a bank holiday weekend, so I think it's fair to say we would expect to see some rain. The good news is, with high pressure in charge, little in the way of rain. However, temperatures are going to drop off. We're going to get quite breezy with the northeasterly winds coming through, and I know a touch of frost is possible. possible as we head overnight into Bank Holiday Monday. You can see the oranges quickly being turned into blue as cold northerly air comes down and the winds will strengthen from the northeast. So that is going to really give a bit of a nagging breeze through Saturday evening and into Sunday as well. Fine at the minute, though, dry and clear as we head overnight tonight. It will be cooler than it was last night. We start to get a bit of cloud rolling in across the Isle of Man and Cumbria, temperatures down to 4 to 7 degrees. Now, this is a weak cold front. It's going to introduce a bit of a blanket of cloud across all parts before it sinks southwards. It's going to brighten up again into the afternoon. The breeze will have picked up. Temperatures get to, for Manchester, 19 degrees, so still pleasant in the sunshine. Head over to Sunday, the best of the sunshine for coastal parts first thing. We'll see more in the way of cloud rolling in off the North Sea on that blustery northeasterly breeze. And temperatures, I mean, for the likes of Buxton, 9 degrees. It will feel chilly. That's how it's going to stay for Bank Holiday Monday as well. But like I said, it does look to stay dry, and dry for a good deal to come as well.
I love our weather. 26 yesterday, now a touch of frost. Where we are. Have a lovely bank holiday, whatever you're doing.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Take care.